6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardena, assisted by Sanjaya, and read by Geethanjali Ramnayaka. The headlines. The President extends warm wishes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his third term. Premier Dinesh Gunawardena stresses the need of creating a conducive environment for education in classrooms. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena requests the Train Drivers Union to call off the strike. A memorandum is signed between Sri Lanka and Oman to promote the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. The Sectoral Oversight Committee on Education approves the Sri Lanka National Commission for UNESCO Bill. Foreign news. Hamas expresses willingness to deal positively with any initiative to end the war. And in sports, it's T20 World Cup cricket news. Bangladesh and South Africa will clash tonight. President Ranil Wickremesinghe extended his warm congratulations to Premier Narendra Modi, who was sworn in for a third consecutive term as Prime Minister of India. Both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to maintain strong Indo-Sri Lanka relations. The swearing-in ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi yesterday was attended by President Ranil Wickremesinghe at a special invitation from Prime Minister Modi. After taking oath of office, Prime Minister Narendra Modi posed for a group photo with the regional leaders, with President Wickremesinghe seated next to him. The Indian media gave special attention to President Wickremesinghe's presence at the swearing-in ceremony, with billboards displaying images of him and Prime Minister Modi prominently placed around major roundabouts in New Delhi. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena stressed the need of creating a productive environment in the classrooms for education in which the students can learn confidently and happily. He made these remarks at the occasion of declaring open the auditorium and indoor stadium of the Dharmapala College, Kottawa North. Empowering schools is not merely constructing buildings, but also introducing new courses that expand the students' education. This is the foundation the government has created for the future generation. The parents' continuous trust in the school has been a gift to strengthen the education system. The country is pacing towards a challenging future. We need to create an environment where children can learn confidently and happily in the classrooms. The government is committed to encourage innovations. The President has already announced the launch of a novel program for imparting additional new technical knowledge to all the children. Provisions are being allocated to carry out this program. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Your next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena requested the Train Drivers Union to call off the strike and report to work. He made this request in a discussion held at the Ministry of Transport and Highways with the leaders of the railway trade unions today. The issue of these drivers, which had not been attended for a long time, has been submitted to the Cabinet at present. Accordingly, the procedure of giving promotions to the train drivers is currently underway. Applications have been received from 75 train drivers for promotion and the third class to the second class. So far, 70 of them have been given promotion letters. Accordingly, Minister Gunawardena asked the representatives of the trade unions to call off the strike and to report for duty without oppressing the public any further. The remaining promotions will be granted in the future according to the prescribed promotion procedure. A memorandum of understanding was inked today between the Minister of Agriculture and the Government of Oman with the aim of boosting agriculture activities in Sri Lanka. The MOU was signed by Minister Mahinda Amaraweera on behalf of the Government of Sri Lanka. The Ambassador of Oman to Sri Lanka, Ahmad Ali Said Al-Rashdi, signed the MOU on behalf of the Government of Oman. The matters covered by the MOU include official visits by researchers, studies and research, promotion of import and export of agriculture products. The Omani ambassador said that the steps taken by the Sri Lankan government will be evaluated by the Minister of Agriculture of Oman. He further assured that Oman will provide the necessary support for the development of the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. Minister Mahinda Amravira mentioned that the MOU signed is a milestone in the diplomatic relations between Oman and Sri Lanka, which will further strengthen the mutual friendship between the two countries. The Sri Lanka National Commission for UNESCO Bill, which was presented to the Parliament and submitted to the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Education, received approval of the Sectoral Oversight Committee recently. This approval was granted when the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Education met under the chairmanship of MP Dr. V. Radhakrishnan. This bill has been submitted to make arrangements for the establishment of a National Commission for the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization and related activities. The committee met and discussed this bill and the amendments to be made on several occasions before. Officials from the Ministry of Education, the Attorney General's Department, the Legal Draftsman's Department and the Secretary General of Sri Lanka National Commission for UNESCO were also present at the meeting. And that ends local news for now.
Enjoy seamless shopping. Open LCs, settle bills and transfer funds instantly, anywhere and anytime. With People's Bank Digital Solutions, you're empowered to do more, whenever and wherever you want. Unlock a world of modern banking conveniences with People's Bank, your next generation digital banking partner. People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has assured President Ranil Wickremesinghe of Bangladesh's commitment to support Sri Lanka's agricultural modernization program. President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina met in New Delhi while attending a swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The leaders deliberated on the prospect of signing a free trade agreement between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. President Ranil Wickremesinghe highlighted the potential for such an agreement following the conclusion of the India Free Trade Agreement. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In Watchlight this evening, Minister Mahinda Amravira said that last week the government decided to increase the 2,500 rupee monthly allowance given to the 34,000 preschool teachers in Sri Lanka to 5,000 rupees. The minister made this remark at a discussion held with the representatives of preschool teachers' organizations yesterday. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
First, Hamas expresses willingness to deal positively with any initiative to end the war. President Macron takes huge risk with surprise election. And wildfire rage in Brazil's Pantanal wetlands. Senior Hamas official Sami Abu Zuhari has said the group will engage positively with any proposal that brings about an end to the war, while calling on the United States to push Israel towards permanent ceasefire. Speaking to Reuters, he further called upon the U.S. administration to put pressure on the occupation to stop the war on Gaza and assured that Hamas movement is ready to deal positively with any initiative that secures an end to the war. The statement comes as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken embarks on a trip to the Middle East as part of a renewed ceasefire push. Secretary Blinken is expected in Cairo today, after which he will travel to Jerusalem for discussions with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. President Emmanuel Macron has called snap parliamentary elections later this month in the wake of a big victory for his rival Marine Le Pen's national rally in the European Parliament vote. Announcing the dissolution of Parliament, he said the two rounds of voting would take place on the 30th of June and the 7th of July, a few weeks before Paris Olympics. President Macron made the dramatic and surprise decision in a televised address from the palace an hour after voting closed and exit polls had been declared in France's EU elections. Firefighters are battling wildfires in the world's largest tropical wetland in Brazil. The Pantanal is home for jaguars, giant antimaus, and giant river otters. Approximately 32,000 hectares have already been destroyed by the fires in the state Mato Grosso, and climate experts say this year's wildfire season has started earlier and is more intense than the previous year. The region has also seen less rain than in other years, which has made it easier for the fires to spread. It has been warned that the situation would probably deteriorate further at the peak of the dry season in August and September. And back to the headlines of the world news. Hamas expresses willingness to deal positively with any initiative to end the war. President Macron takes huge risks with surprise election. And wildfires rage in Brazil's Pantanal wetlands. And that ends world news.
Development news.
Sri Lanka has been named among the top 3 must-visit destinations for summer 24 by Forbes alongside Greece and Mauritius. Writing for Forbes travel blogger Kathleen Petticord described Sri Lanka as another island country floating in the Indian Ocean, a land of verdant highlands and stunning beaches. Its appeal is a blend of surf and wellness cultures, similar to Bali before its boom in popularity and resulting over-tourism. That was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
On to sports news. Another cricket match of the T20 World Cup series will take place in New York today. This is the 21st match of the series. Bangladesh and South Africa will play the match. The match is scheduled to commence at 8 p.m. local time. And that's sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Indo-Lanka Chamber of Commerce and Industry hosted an interactive session with High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, at Taj Samudra in Colombo. The event brought together business leaders and industry experts for a night of engaging discussions and networking. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Sri Lanka Tourism participated at the Guangzhou International Travel Fair, which is an annual event held in China, as an important platform for all the travel industry participants across the world to meet, network, negotiate and conduct businesses in the tourism sector in southern China. The first 2 days of the fair were open to the trade to hold discussions and meetings, while the third day of the event was exclusively dedicated to the public. By participating at the event, Sri Lanka was able to entertain both online and on-site privileges to maximize the brand visibility for the destination during the travel fair. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragama and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, and Matra districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 mm are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragama province and in the Nuwara Eliya district. Light showers may occur in the north central province and in the Mana and Matale districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Ua province and in the Ampara and Badiklo district in the evening or night. Strong winds of about 40 to 50 km per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee, Hambantota and Monragla districts. Well, that was with the report, and prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines again. The President extends warm wishes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his third term. Premier Dinesh Gunawardena stresses the need of creating a conducive environment for education in the classrooms. Minister Dr. Bandara Gunawardena requests the train drivers union to call off the strike. A memorandum is signed between Sri Lanka and Oman to promote the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. The Sectoral Oversight Committee on Education approves the Sri Lanka National Commission for UNESCO bill. Foreign news: Hamas expresses willingness to deal positively with any initiative to end the war. And in sports, T20 World Cup news, Bangladesh and South Africa will clash tonight. And with that, we end this news broadcast from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And it's over to Mariela Vandot this Monday evening to continue with the rest of the programs. Over to you, Mariela.
Thank you, Geetanjali. That was Geetanjali Ramanayaka bringing you the main news broadcast right here from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Wishing you nothing but the best and have a safe journey back home. The time moves on to 30 minutes past 6 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.